You guys really enjoyed my videos where I ranked my top 10 LEGO Star Wars Kashyyyk sets and my top 10 LEGO Star Wars Geonosis sets, and ever since those two videos came out, my most requested video since then has been to do the top 10 LEGO Star Wars Hoth sets. And I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do this video for a while, and here I finally am, but I had been putting it off for one main reason, and that is because, well, LEGO has made a total of 5 playscale AT-ATs over the past 21 years, and in my opinion, they're all worthy of being in the top 10 LEGO Star Wars Hoth sets. But on the other hand, it would be very lame if 5 of the top 10 spots were taken up by just AT-ATs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you my very quick ranking of the 5 LEGO Star Wars AT-ATs with no details, just a very quick ranking, and then the 2020 AT-AT is the one that I will actually use in the final list. So at the 5th spot, I have 8129 AT-AT Walker from 2010. At the 4th spot, I have 4483 AT-AT from 2003. At the 3rd spot, I have 10178 Motorized Walking AT-AT from 2007. At the 2nd spot, I have 75054 AT-AT from 2014. And at the number 1 spot, I obviously have 75288 AT-AT from 2020. So there's how I would personally rank the 5 AT-ATs, and like I said, I'm going to be using the 2020 AT-AT in the final top 10 list. Also, I forgot to mention this video is sponsored by Whatnot, but more on them later. Starting off the list with some honorable mentions, the first honorable mention I have, or I guess you could say the 13th spot, is A084 Snowtrooper Battle Pack. This set was released back in 2010 with 74 pieces and a retail price of $12. And on paper, a Snowtrooper Battle Pack is a really great idea. I just don't think LEGO executed it in the best way possible here. Yes, the speeder is cool and it's nice that we get 2 Snowtroopers, but I feel like the AT-AT driver was kind of unneeded, as well as that little turret slash command station build that he sits on. I feel like that just doesn't look that great, that it definitely could have been something like an E-Web blaster and then just included a 3rd Snowtrooper. But if you exclude that little aspect, I think this set is pretty decent, and that's why it made the honorable mentions. The next honorable mention I have, or I guess you could say the 12th spot, is 7749 Echo Base. This set was released back in 2009 with 155 pieces and a retail price of $25. And this set is pretty decent. LEGO has made a few of these sort of $25–$30 little Echo Base builds like this over the years, and I'd say this one is probably the best, although this was 2009 before the Rebel Troopers had actual face prints, so they're just smiley faces. But that aside, their armor and printing still look cool, and it's always pretty nice to get Snowtroopers, and the Tauntaun is pretty cool as well. And then the last honorable mention, or the 11th spot, is the Snowtrooper Battle Pack counterpart that I just talked about, being A083 Rebel Trooper Battle Pack. This set was also released back in 2010 with 79 pieces and a retail price of $12. And I think this battle pack is really good compared to the Snowtrooper Battle Pack. You actually get a pretty cool Rebel speeder build and not any unneeded side builds, as well as a very valid minifigure lineup for a battle pack, being 2 Rebel Hoth Troopers, an officer, and then Zeb Siniska. That's gonna do it for the honorable mentions, but before we get into the top 10, let's take a look at today's sponsor, Whatnot. Whatnot is an online marketplace that has live streamed auctions of any products like shoes, sports cards, Pokemon cards, and of course, LEGO. It's kind of like a mashup of eBay and Twitch with the live streams featuring a chat and everything, and the products are actually shown on camera right in front of you, so you'll actually know exactly what you're bidding for. And if you outbid everyone else, just like any other marketplace, it'll be shipped straight to you for you to enjoy. And a lot of sellers actually even run live giveaways on their streams. You can check out the scheduled stream times of all of your favorite LEGO creators, and some people actually sell using the shop feature where you can buy products directly from their page without having to bid on them. WhatNotCon is also right around the corner. It'll be the world's largest virtual comic convention with over 1,400 exhibits and some of your favorite creators participating, like M&R Productions and Solid Brick Studios. This will be from April 11th to April 14th exclusively on the Whatnot app. I'll also have an invite link down in the description below, where if you sign up through that link, you will get $10 off your first Whatnot purchase. Now making our way into the official top 10, at the number 10 spot, I have what might be a bit of a hot take, and that is 40557 Defensive Hoth. This set was released back in January of 2022 with 64 pieces and a retail price of $15. When this set was on shelves, it often got overlooked because it was released alongside the Clone Trooper minifigure pack, which everyone wanted a lot more than this, and I think because of that, a lot of people really never even noticed or never even cared about how good this set actually is. Yes, the builds are kind of mediocre, and that's why I didn't put it any higher than the 10th spot, but man, those Rebel Troopers are absolutely incredible. You guys know I really like Rebel Troopers, whether they be in battle packs or just full-on sets, so obviously I had to give this a pretty decent ranking because again, these guys just look really good. They're some of the best Rebel Troopers, not only Hoth Rebel Troopers, but just Rebel Troopers in general that LEGO has ever made. And on top of that, the builds are very small and kind of mediocre to say, but the 2 blasters are really awesome, and I just just had to give this set a fair ranking. Up next at the number 9 spot, I have 7879 Hoth Echo Base. This set was released back in August of 2011 with 773 pieces and a retail price of $90 US. Now at the time, this really was the ultimate Battle of Hoth playset. It might not look the prettiest, but man, it has a lot of really awesome play features. And on top of that, it does have a pretty fleshed out minifigure lineup, even with a tauntaun included as well. And now the play features are really cool, especially for kids back in 2011. But like I just said, it does not look the prettiest. This set is really maxed out on playability and has zero displayability at all. And I mean, I'm an adult collector. Obviously, I like to display my sets. I definitely appreciate functionality, but this set just doesn't look that great. So its massive amount of playability got it to the number 9 spot, but not any higher. Up next at the number 8 spot, I have 8089 Hoth Wampa Cave. This set was released back in June of 2010 with 297 pieces and a retail price of $40 US. And I think for 2010, this set was great. It's actually the only standalone Wampa Cave set that LEGO has ever made for some reason, and they did a pretty good job. The snowspeeder is pretty nice, and yes, the cave is a bit bare, especially for today. That definitely would not hold up, but for 2010, it was pretty cool and a nice play set of a very iconic scene that I hope LEGO remakes someday soon. Next up at the number 7 spot, I have 75014 Battle of Hoth. This set was released back in January of 2013 with 426 pieces and a retail price of $50 US. This set is pretty cool. It's like the millionth Battle of Hoth playset with the snowspeeder and rebel troopers and snowtroopers that we had gotten, but still it's pretty cool. I think it really has all of the components to make a really great playset. It's got a pretty fleshed out minifigure lineup with good guys and bad guys, as well as a snowspeeder build and then 2 Hoth barricade builds with some turrets. It's just overall a pretty solid playset. The only problem I have with it is that it's just a bit empty, I guess is a way to put it. It just feels like it's kind of missing something, and that's why I didn't put it any higher. But up next at the number 6 spot, I have a set that is similar but just overall feels more complete, and that is 7666 Hoth Rebel Base. This set was released all the way back in September of 2007 with 548 pieces and a retail price of only $50. And for $50, this was an absolutely awesome deal. It's essentially the same as the set that I just talked about, just rebel troopers and snowtroopers with a snowspeeder and a few turrets, but the main difference is that this set actually includes the door to the Hoth Rebel Base, which I think looks really cool. It's got a really awesome feature where you can turn a gear to open and close these sliding doors, and on the outside, the front icy pieces give it a really cool look, and on top of that, again, you get really good figures with a snowspeeder, just making for an all-around really good playset. Coming in at the number 5 spot, I have 4504 Millennium Falcon. This set was released all the way back in June of 2004 with 985 pieces and a retail price of $100. This was the second Millennium Falcon that LEGO had ever made, and they definitely did a very good job for 2004, and especially compared to the original. If you look at the design of the original one and then look at the design of this, in only 5 years, it's pretty impressive how far they advanced it. This Millennium Falcon right here literally has basically the exact same base design that all of the other playscale Falcons have had ever since. Now that in no way means that its age does not show, because it's pretty easy to tell that this set is from the early 2000s, and that's why I didn't put it up higher on this list, but still for its time period, I think they did a very good job. And also, this is the only Falcon they've made that was directly based off of Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back, which I think is pretty interesting. Next up at the 4th spot, I have 75259 Snowspeeder 20th Anniversary Edition. This set was released back in April of 2019 with 319 pieces and a retail price of $40 US. I'm just letting this snowspeeder count for the 2014 version as well, because they're both great sets and both very identical. But anyways, I think LEGO did a really good job on this. I love how it's sort of a nod to the original snowspeeder made in 1999, with the Hoth Rebel Trooper standing next to his big Hoth turret, but also the snowspeeder itself is just really good. I honestly think this is the peak snowspeeder design. When LEGO remakes one in the future, I mean, I know it'll be different, but I really don't see many areas that it could be improved, because this one is just pretty much perfect. And on top of that, you get the cool Lando 20th Anniversary figure. I mean, what's not to love? Next up at the number 3 spot, I have what a Snowtrooper Battle Pack is supposed to look like, being 75320 Snowtrooper Battle Pack. This set was released back in January of 2022 with 105 pieces and a retail price of $20. And man, this set is just absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure I ranked it as actually the best Imperial Battle Pack LEGO has made, and on top of that, I also think this is actually just a top 10 battle pack of all time. Not only are all of the troopers amazing, I know there weren't scout troopers on Hoth, but still just a Hoth version of a scout trooper is really awesome, and he looks really good. I really like how he's sort of brighter with having gray arms as compared to black arms, and having gray printing as compared to black printing. It just makes him kind kind of unique and it looks really good. And then on top of that, the snowtroopers are just obviously really good as well. The builds are also really good too. The barrier is kind of take it or leave it. I mean, I think it looks pretty cool and it kind of adds something extra, but really the main highlights are the E-Web blaster and especially the speeder. The E-Web blaster is awesome. They fit a stud shooter on top of it and still managed to make it look good. And this speeder design is one of the best speeder designs LEGO has ever given us. It just looks great. This is overall just a really incredible battle pack. I genuinely do not think LEGO could have done any better. Everything is absolutely perfect. Coming in at the number 2 spot, I have 75322 Hoth AT-AT. This figure was also released back in January of 2022 with 586 pieces and a retail price of $50. Now, I had a pretty hard time deciding between this and the Snowtrooper battle pack for what should have been in second place, and I ended up going with the AT-AT because I'm gonna favor a cool looking walker over a battle pack, and usually 9 times out of 10, but they are really nearly identical in terms of how good they are. But about this AT-AT, I think it's really interesting. It's actually the only Hoth, I guess, quote unquote AT-AT that LEGO has made. I say Hoth AT-AT because the AT-ATs that were shown on Hoth and The Empire Strikes Back look a little bit different than the ones that were shown on Endor. They got more of a scrawnier design, and I think LEGO really captured that well here. And on top of that, the minifigure lineup is pretty good. I think the probe droid was a bit unneeded. Maybe it could have been switched out with just another snowtrooper, but that's just me. I think the set is pretty good. Now coming in at the number 1 spot as the best LEGO Star Wars set based off of the Planet Hoth, excluding UCS sets, who would have ever guessed? It's 75288 AT-AT. This set was released back in August of 2020 with 1,267 pieces and a retail price of $170. And I'm gonna be honest, this set is so good, I really just don't even have that much to say about it. It's without a doubt the best playscale AT-AT that LEGO has ever made, and I mean, at this point in time, I really just don't think they could do any better. Like, this is the peak right here. A common topic that's often talked about in the LEGO Star Wars community is that, well, if some sets are so good, why doesn't LEGO just never retire them and keep them on shelves for 5 to 10 years or so? And usually I disagree with that. I think it's good to have sets circulating in and out every 2 years, but in this case, I think this is a set that could have stayed here a lot longer. It was even on shelves for about a year and a half longer than the typical LEGO Star Wars set lifespan, so that right there should tell you how good of a set this was, but I really do think it could have stayed for a few more years. It's just a pretty timeless playscale AT-AT. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what you think about my picks down in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the end screen right now.